We've been thinking about this day for a long time. Years.
We've grown up together. A lot of us since kindergarten.
Someday, we're going to be together wearing the caps and gowns that our older brothers, sisters, parents, cousins, aunts, and uncles wore. A Bayport grad ready to take on the world.
This isn't the way we wrote it in our minds, that a global pandemic would sweep through and rob us of our final months of our senior year. No more competitions, no more performances, no final months of classes with our friends and teachers.
It hurts. It stings. This is not the way we wanted to go out.
But a pandemic's grip on our world has no hold on what today means for us.
Being a Bayport graduate is so much more than a building and a stage.
It's about perseverance and grit. That's what's gotten us through this struggle. We will have more of that built up than anyone who came before us, and we have set a new standard for anyone who comes after. This is our legacy.
When it's all said and done, it's the relationships that matter. Our connections with our teachers and each other will last longer than our 4 years together here at Bayport. We kept these connections through difficult times. They are our legacy too.
Our class motto is born to make history. Guess what? We've already started. We will not be defined as the coronavirus class of 2020. We define ourselves.
We are the Bayport class of 2020.
We are pirates.
We did the work. We made it. All of those memories before March still exist, and no one and no virus can take them away.
Those same kids from kindergarten are now on their own stage, the stage of life, and we are ready for the next step.
This is our time.
And today is our graduation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Giving today's welcome are the class officers of the class of 2020, Mercedes Calowerts, Kira Flynn, Chuck Maternoski, and Shannon Norton.
Welcome family, friends, and class of 2020 to a commencement that we will definitely remember. We are this year's class officers. I am Kira Flynn, and I'm here along with Mercedes Calowerts, Charles Maternowski, and Shannon Norton.
We entered the world during 9/11 and are graduating during a pandemic. We know these times are tough, but without a doubt, we will progress onward and make our own history.
This year, we are focusing on this exactly, how we were born to make history. As a reflection of our class, we look back on our major accomplishments.
Through many musical performances, club competitions, athletic achievements at events, and academic successes, we have shown how we made our mark in Bayport history. What we thought would last a few weeks turned into months and came to a shocking end of the school year, and we missed out on many opportunities that would have made the class of 2020 even more remarkable.
We missed our senior ball, musical, spring sports, final graduation events, and many more inspiring achievements. While this may have set us back temporarily, we will go on to accomplish much more and leave our mark on the world.
As we look forward to our lives, we will remember these troubles as we take a leap forward and set sail on new journeys. Whether you plan on going into the military, workforce, college, or wherever else life may take you, we know that you will all continue to make history.
As Henry Ford perfectly reminds us, the most important history is the history we make today. Through these troubling times, we feel it is best to leave you with a joke. You know what they're saying about 2020?
What do they say about 2020?
It went viral faster than anyone thought it would.
We hope you enjoy the ceremony.
Our next speaker is the Superintendent of the Howard-Suamico School District, Mr. Damian LaCroix.
Class of 2020, you were born to make history. As superintendent, I am honored to thank you, to congratulate you, and to challenge you as you embark on the adventure of a lifetime. Thank you for the mark you've made in Howard-Suamico School District. Whether you've been here since kindergarten or entered last year, our learning community has improved through your presence. You see, there has never been anyone just like you. You are designed for accomplishment. You are engineered for excellence. You are endowed with the seeds of greatness. Staring pandemic fear in the face, you are empowered by the truth that your life has purpose. You've been given gifts that no one else has, which the world needs right here, right now. Congratulations. I say this not so much for what you've accomplished, but for who you are becoming. Regardless of class rank or GPA, if you can answer two questions with more clarity today than when you've arrived, you are on the road to success. Question number one. Who do you want to be? Question number two, how do you want to live? Combine the two for one powerful question. How do I want to live so I can be the person I am meant to be? I end with a challenge. As we've all experienced in recent months, life can be a difficult teacher because it gives the tests first and the lessons after. The virus may have stolen your senior year, but it cannot and it will not steal your future. The word commencement literally means beginning. Class of 2020, hear me now and believe me later. You were born to make history. This is only the beginning. The best is yet to come. Godspeed.
Our first performance is by the Bayport Concert Choir on the direction of Mr. Michael Pufall. We are honored this year to have two valedictorians. Given the first valedictorian address is Amanda Jerry. Amanda will be attending UW-Madison to major in business administration and marketing. Her parents Sherry and Jason, younger brother Alex, and grandparents Connie and John will be supporting her on her graduation day. Please join me in congratulating Amanda Jerry.
Class of 2020 graduates, I am so thankful to be able to join you in the place we have spent the last 4 years in, Bayport High School. However, this place has been much more than just the brick and mortar that makes up this building. Rather, to many, it has been a place to learn, a stage to rehearse musical gifts, a field to practice athletic talents, and a home where we found our friends and teachers. That's what made this place so special. And that's likely what made it so difficult to leave each other just a few months back. During this time, I hope we have come to realize the importance of connecting with others and the value of offering compassion. We too often forget the importance of human connections when getting caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. Now, if there's one thing we've learned, it is that 2020 does not necessarily mean we possess the perfect vision. We have learned that many questions arise in such uncertain times, and not a lot of answers, or perhaps the wrong answers, have come in response. This time has awakened us to the fact that the old ways of doing things may not work any longer. If the world is going to change, it's going to be us, the innovators, the problem solvers, the critical thinkers. We have a different way of seeing things. Now, putting this weight on our shoulders may seem very intimidating, but to me, it's also inspiring and hopeful. Changing the world does not have to be something big and extravagant. Rather, it could just start with changing your mindset. We're not too young to understand, and we don't have to abide by conventional ideas. We have learned that with so much uncertainty, whether for ourselves, our communities, or our future, this is the time in which we can shape our world that we want to live in. The world in which we want to attend college, attend the workforce or the armed forces, and start to build our families. Our world will likely undergo drastic changes. So what values do you want to bring forth? I want to live in a world where there is honesty, generosity, responsibility, and integrity. We cannot do this alone. We must surround ourselves with others who share a similar vision, passion, and drive. Now, we've experienced failure and adversity many times throughout our lives before, and each time, I believe we have come out stronger, even though it may not have seemed like it at first. We have learned from past mistakes, and we've figured out how to make things better. We have learned that being adaptable, independent, and perseverant are some of the most valuable skills we can possess. But we haven't just learned this in the past couple months. We've been building our character throughout our entire lives. As I've shared before, we all come from different backgrounds, and most importantly, we all have a unique story to share. One of my favorite books is Walk Two Moons by Sharon Creech, which taught me in 3rd grade that you should never judge a man until you've walked 2 moons in his moccasins. Personally, being in the International Baccalaureate program these past 2 years has been one of the most rewarding and challenging opportunities that I have ever pursued. One of my favorite things about the program was that we never learned something in one way or never looked at something from one perspective. Think of it like a diverging path. We started with an idea and sought as many solutions as we could in the pursuit to just learn. We never learned one way to interpret a math theorem or one way to analyze literature, which often meant much of what we did was influenced by subjectivity. When I think about a leader, I hope they too don't see others or the world through one lens or perspective. Now, as noted by many people, our class is quite extraordinary, even born to make history, they say. Each of us have devoted our time to things we've loved, that made us happy, or that we thought were important. Each of us have devoted our passions and our commitment or to our community. We were able to accomplish amazing things. I hope during your time here, you were able to find your niche. I hope that you were able to find what made you unique and surrounded yourself with people who supported you. Being a leader is about lifting others up through positivity and leaving your influence. But it is also about being a visionary and devoting yourself to things you seek to change. As I've said before, changing the world can start with something small. It may seem like small acts of kindness or personal victories often go unnoticed. But don't worry, people will gravitate towards you. That quick exchange of smiles left an emotional imprint, something that may have had a beneficial impact on someone's life. Here at Bayport, we have had one of the strongest communities that I have ever been a part of. We have made our impact. If you want to create a world in which everyone has the opportunity to thrive, to not struggle alone with mental illness or economic and social distress, we're going to have to do this together. That means breaking down rivalries and leaving behind grudges. That means leaving behind social status, political affiliations, and greed, and instead realizing others' struggles, respecting one another, and standing up for others' rights. Our society doesn't work when we think only about ourselves. Rather, it thrives when we think about each other. Division does not build community. Unity does. Before we depart, I would like to share a little story from our childhood. When I was younger, my mom used to read me The Kissing Hand with Chester Raccoon. She used to kiss my hand and tell me, whenever you feel lonely or need a little loving from home, just press your hand to your cheek and think of me. Though the future may seem daunting, especially now, never forget your roots. Never forget those who have helped you accomplish what you have today. Remember the power of human connections and go out there and make a difference. This message does not serve to you as a goodbye, class of 2020. I'm hopeful that we'll be able to join each other in this place once again as pirates. Thank you.
Our next valedictorian address will be given by Anna Mittag. Anna will be attending the University of Notre Dame in pursuit of becoming a doctor. Today she is supported by her parents Amy and Brian and her grandmothers Pat and Carol. Please join me in congratulating Anna Mittag.
Good afternoon, parents, staff, and the class of 2020. 2020, it's a year I've looked forward to all my life, and I'm sure you have too. It was supposed to be our year. We had plans and dreams of walking across this stage and being handed a diploma, of throwing our cap up into the air, of thanking our teachers and parents and saying goodbye to our friends. 2020, we had a perfect vision of what this year would look like, but at last, we were blindsided. Last sports seasons, dances, club meetings, concerts, musicals, ceremonies, and competitions all canceled. My 8th grade dream of having a flash mob as my valedictorian speech destroyed, although I think we can all agree that's for the best. It seems like our plans have failed us, and our calendars have become more and more blank. But in these quiet weeks and months, I've found that while my calendar is blank, my life sure isn't. My life instead has been filled with vibrant and caring people, because even as events have been canceled, relationships haven't. We found creative ways to adapt and to connect, to show each other love and compassion, and that's beautiful. While I no longer get to see my teachers face to face, I look forward to their cheer-up songs, their weekly updates, and their virtual classrooms. Although I don't get to volunteer for Big Brothers Big Sisters at Forest Glen anymore, I still get to talk with my little sister through FaceTime and letters. And although I don't get to chat with my friends at lunch or in class, we still connect over the internet and celebrate each other's birthdays with drive-by parades. We've learned that you don't have to be with each other to support one another. You just have to reach out. So yes, I admit the world today looks very different than it used to, but I think the people in it look even better, and our relationships even stronger. We've become kinder and more compassionate, and we are all connected now more than ever, as a class, as a community, and as a world. So as we look forward to the future, refrain from creating that perfect vision, the one where everything goes right and according to plan. Because our vision of the future isn't 2020, and it doesn't need to be. At any moment, you can be blindsided by the world, and the only thing that matters then is the people you surround yourself with. So set down that planner and open your eyes to the life you have now and the people you're living it with. Build strong relationships and treat others with kindness, and the rest will follow. Thank you.
Giving the first staff address is Mr. Luther Apple. After 24 years of leading the band program and developing into one of the best programs in the country, Luther has decided that he will also graduate to the next stage of his life. Following his speech will be the performance by the Bayport Wind Ensemble. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Luther Apple.
Mr. LaCroix, Mr. Frieder, faculty and staff of Bayport, parents, friends, and of course, the Bayport High School graduating class of 2020. Mr. Frieder, thank you so much for all of your support, and thank you for allowing me to say goodbye to Bayport High School in this way. Like the class of 2020, I will be graduating as well. However, it's taken me 24 years to get through school. Maybe it says something about my academic prowess, probably does. I would like to thank all the administrators, faculty, and staff of Bayport High School. Special thanks to the first principal, Larry Dunning, who hired me, and his assistant principal at the time, the one who phoned me to suggest I should apply for the Bayport opening. That assistant principal was my big brother, Tom. Thank you for making the past 24 years here at Bayport possible. Here is where I will model good behavior for you graduates. Don't forget to thank your parents. So thank you, Mom, for everything you've done for me. I love you. Thank you to my wife and kids for all of your love and support. Finally, thank you to all the band students. I'm in awe of your dedication and hard work, and I'm honored to have been your band director. Over the last 24 years, we've shared many great experiences. Marching down Key Biscayne Boulevard in the Orange Bowl Parade. My favorite memento from that trip is a picture of our incredible Howard-Suamico School band staff in front of the Scooby-Doo van. Performing in the New Orleans Superdome at the halftime of the National Championship Sugar Bowl game, a trip where when we unloaded the buses in New Orleans, my luggage was left back at Bayport. Marching down Hollywood Boulevard in the Hollywood Christmas Parade. Pretty uneventful trip, unless you count the bomb scare right before the parade, which delayed the parade by 2 hours. All these experiences are wonderful, but more important than these experiences are the incredible relationships we built on the journeys on our way to these performances. I have great memories and images from Bayport. Some images I'm not so sure I want to keep, but they're there just the same. The image of my brother Tom and Mr. Frieder and Larry Dunning dressed in dance team uniforms and doing a routine with the Bayport dance team, unfortunately, is one of those images that will be stuck in my head forever. But the experience of playing in Madison at the Cole Center and Camp Randall and the Rush Center for state tournament and state championship games will always be cherished. Thank you, Athletic Department, for your support of our pep bands and marching band. Nate Rickel, I still remember a basketball game when the pep band had yet to play in the second half. Even though the game was well in hand, you called a timeout at the very end of the game. I'm sure the opposing coach was not thrilled by that. However, you called the timeout just so the pep band would have a chance to play. Well, I think that's enough traveling down memory lane. So let's turn our attention to the class of 2020. Every year, I tell my students that I hope they become good musicians, but more importantly, I hope they become great people. I believe being kind and grateful are cornerstones of being a great person. I would like to tell this final story to illustrate my point. The most powerful commencement speech I have ever heard was from Bayport grad Andy Barrett. Andy was a drummer in the band, and he graduated in 1999, and he's now the pastor at Trinity Lutheran Church in Wapaka. Andy wrote, and I paraphrase just a little bit, "Making a difference can be something as little as saying a kind word to someone who's having a bad day, or caring enough to help when somebody runs out of their car and screams for help at the stoplight. You see, 2 people who did this probably saved my life. I'm allergic to nuts, and I ate a cookie my sophomore year without knowing it had walnuts in it. On the way to the hospital, I would stop breathing less than a minute after my mom pulled out of the driveway. She didn't know what to do, and she finally came to a stop at a busy intersection. It was here that a local couple probably saved my life by trying to help my unconscious body to breathe, by following my mom to the hospital, and by helping to get me inside. You see, one person can make a difference. Not by having money or fame, but by showing compassion for a fellow human being. This is a powerful story that has stuck with me for many years. With the retelling of Andy's story, I hope we can all remember to be kind and be grateful and to be open to helping our fellow human beings in these times and the times to come. Congratulations, Bayport High School class of 2020, and I wish all of you a healthy and happy future.
Our second staff address will be given by Mrs. Brooke Mraz. Brooke is a member of our language arts staff and is the head coach of our state champion girls soccer team. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Brooke Mraz.
Hello, friends. Class of 2020, I am honored to be your graduation speaker in this unprecedented time. Commencement speeches are supposed to be celebratory. Though conclusive in nature, graduation ceremonies traditionally elicit feelings of joy, of excitement, and of pride. However, for 2020 graduates everywhere, the ceremonial process is far from traditional. I recognize that a dark cloud has moved in, has lingered, and has raindrops of grief, of loss, and of what-ifs on our plans and on our parades. In fact, loss is a word that has become synonymous with our current reality. Graduates, we empathize with your palpable feelings of loss, of grief, of frustration, of anger, and of sadness. We acknowledge your right to feel jaded by the challenges emerging from today's trials. We have had to confound our best laid plans, and we have been asked to forgo our passions. Your teachers have missed our daily interactions with you, your goofy antics, your challenges to our questions, your smiles on good days, your sadness on bad days. We traded in these special moments and transitioned to teaching from home, wrangling our own children, our own struggles, and our own loss. As 2020 graduates, many of you have had to grieve the loss of one last opportunity to perform, a final opportunity to showcase your talents on the Bayport stage, of your right to take that final bow on the stage that you call home, and of your right to a standing ovation as recognition and appreciation of the countless hours you had already logged in rehearsals, in set building, and in stage crewing. As 2020 graduates, many of you have had to grieve the loss of an occasion to play in one final band concert, a concert that was meant to be a special concert, a concert at which you would honor the man who has poured his heart and soul into the band program. As 2020 graduates, many of you have had to grieve the loss of your senior sports season, of a final opportunity to wear the Bayport uniform, of a final opportunity to bring forth your best efforts in an attempt to do what this class does best and earn another piece of hardware for the trophy case, of a final opportunity to make memories with your teammates. This is something that I can identify with. I have shed tears knowing that I will not be able to spend one last season with 4 incredible people. I have gone through the lists of only ifs 1,000 times. Only if we had this season, girls soccer might have made their 4th straight state appearance. But I've learned that I have had to move from that space of debilitating only if into a space of cherishing what has been. And what has been something special. So thank you, Ava, Mac, Elena, and Emma, for everything you have done for the soccer program. From Senior Ball to the Literary Arts Festival, the list of missed events is lengthy, and many have been quick to define the class of 2020 by what they have lost. Yet, I'm going to challenge that sentiment. I genuinely believe that Bayport High School's class of 2020 will not be defined by what you have lost, but by the reverent and decorative legacy you leave behind and the impact you generate as you progress forward. Regardless of all of this emotional and circumstantial chaos, your teachers, the administration, your coaches, your directors, and your community remain in awe of the gifts, of the triumphs, of the achievements, of the impact that you, the class of 2020, have diligently accomplished in your time at Bayport High School. As a class, you have modeled for the underclassmen that when success and merit materialize, it is imperative to proceed with appreciation and humility. You have shown that when adversity and challenge strike, It is necessary to respond with courage and resolve. You have consistently embraced challenges, and you have risen to the occasion time and time again. You demonstrated spirited leadership, you set school records on so many levels, and you brought life to the classroom. Let me reiterate that last bit. You brought life to the classroom. I want you to know that despite all of the colorful decor and uplifting aphoristic phrases that cover my walls, my classroom is blah, it's lonely, it's empty, it's nothing more than bricks and mortar without all of you. It is with sincerity that I tell you that I miss you like crazy, that your teachers, the administrators, your counselors, your coaches miss you like crazy. I certainly miss the daily connections, the relationships, the discussions, all of the things that power my passion for teaching. You see, the beauty of my job as an English teacher lies in my opportunity to engage with you, the students, on a daily basis. Students as awesome sauce as all of you, you have encouraged me daily to disenthrall myself from mainstream preconceptions about who teenagers are or should be, and you have allowed me to learn and explore with you, side by side. You have inspired me to continue to pour my heart into this profession, and you have motivated me to bring forth my best self each and every day. You have brought laughter to the classroom, and you have allowed me to break out in song or dance at any given moment without too harsh a judgment. You allowed the learning process to be open-minded, open-ended, unpredictable, ongoing, and even messy at times. You demonstrated passion and patience on days when I would divert the course of an entire lesson plan because there were pressing issues to debate or to discuss. Many of you have trusted me enough to share your stories of disappointment, of setback, of sorrow, of pain, and you have cared enough to ask about my day or to inquire about my family. Your class is full of students who have taken the time to say thank you at the end of a class period before you walked out the door. This school year, while teaching AP Literature and ELA 4, senior capstone course, I observed, often in awe, your innovative, critical thought process, your collective sharing of ideas, your philanthropic aims, and your inquisitive mindsets. I watched you grapple with and rebuke societal norms and corporate mentality that stagnate the improvement of society. I witnessed solutionists in action. Class of 2020, please know that we as a staff wholeheartedly respect you. We see you. We see you beyond the realms of academia. We believe in you, and we appreciate your collective contributions, and we also value you as individuals. We are very proud of your accomplishments, and we await your future successes as we can see the tenacious determination and passion that so many of you have toward your future. So today, we celebrate you. We celebrate all of you. The debaters, the musicians and artists, the entrepreneurs, the empaths, the innovators, the designers, the caretakers, the future teachers, the leaders, the doers, the athletes, the reflectors, and of course, the comedians. We celebrate David Sigalski and his Flamingo Friday shirts. We celebrate the Dane Christensens, the Trevor Conahairs, the Samuel Martinezes, the Linnea Morrises, the Andrew Storbels, and the Tressa Gauzes, and their habitual willingness to evaluate and to debate with critical thinking and thoughtful exploration. We celebrate the artists like Peyton Wolfer, Trinity Kelly, Gabby LeCount, Matt Engel, Sarah Hart, Nathan Vincent, and Declan Melchor, who have moved us, often to tears, with their art pieces, their spoken word poetry, their instruments, and their voices. We celebrate the students who will likely change the world with their business acumen, their savvy intellect, the newest generation of entrepreneurs like Ryan Teamy and Bryson Thielbar. We celebrate the visionary aspirations of students like Annika Gingle and Jesse Bellinger. What architectural designs will they create? What cities will they transform? We celebrate the innovative minds of students like Zach Smith, Zach Wright, Shay Gustafson, and Keaton Spindler, who will undoubtedly work to expand our idea of what is possible. We celebrate the creative minds of students like Mac Johnson and Libby Armstrong, who may very well be designing their own fashion lines someday. We celebrate our future caretakers like Allison Fisher, Katie Avery, Shelby Stelzer, Duncan Albanese, Mackenzie Bjorkland, and so many more. We celebrate our future law enforcers and investigators like Stormy Kopp, Carter Mishka, Haley Jepson, and Micah Tice, who will work to keep our communities safe. We celebrate the comedians like Bryce DeBush, Bryce Van Hemmelich, Carl Verlanik, Nang Tao, and Logan Geisler, who even in these challenging times continue to make us smile with their antics and hilarity. We celebrate the doers, students like Jake Fisher, Ben Storby, and AJ Williams, who will use their hands and minds to make a difference. We celebrate Hope Carnes, Emily Zellner, and the many others, our future teachers. Welcome to a profession that brings a new journey each and every day. We celebrate the activists, students like Ava Stile, Celeste North, Josh Olette, and Diana Ellis, who care deeply about the preservation of our wildlife, of our oceans, and of our planet. We celebrate the creators like Kira Flynn, Mercy Gabochi, Sasha Boyer, Jackson Curson, and Elizabeth Pileggi. We celebrate the athletes, students like Isaiah Gash, Max Musin, Emma Lasecki, Cam DeBrew, Emma Nagel, Maddie Elke, and countless others who will continue to energize fans and who have inspired today's youth to recognize the value of hard work. The leaders, students like Elena Abel, Cole Weber, Evan Menon, Justin Hale, Tanner Tilkins, and Tunker Rudolph, who led athletic teams, classroom discussion, co-curricular clubs, and have championed the heart of Pirate Nation. We celebrate the kind-hearted and the empaths, like Ellie Beatty, Greta Schwant, Hannah Krieger, Kaylee Bertrand, Tanisha Fernandez, Jackson Swatsky, Emma Cumbers, and Connor Gershmel, who make us smile or who inspire us to consider the plight of others. Class of 2020, you are each unique and you each embrace one or more of these qualities. I would love to give shout outs to each and every one of you, as each and every one of you are deserving, but unfortunately, time does not permit. To all of you, my advice is this: the upward trajectory of human progress has always been characterized by iterative and incremental returnings from adversity, not by accolades or relentless perfection. Despite recent adversity, work toward positive progress. Be courageous enough to question mainstream rhetoric and to challenge the status quo, but be mindful enough to do so with consideration and with tact. Allow passion to fuel your agendas and your voices, but allow space for pragmatic processing and investigative research. There is truth in the metaphor that knowledge is power. Be bold, be brave. Choose kindness, especially when others choose torment. Consider empathy, even when apathy is the norm. Stand firm against injustice, especially when complacency presents the path of least resistance. Continue to embrace the debate. Continue to take care of one another. Continue to embrace diversity, and continue to make a difference. Class of 2020, it is with a heavy heart, yet with tremendous hope, that we take up the anchor and set you free to sail toward your next docking post.
Our final performance today will be by the Bayport Orchestra under the direction of Audrey Nowak. Class of 2020, in a few short minutes, you'll become alumni of Bayport High School. It's hard to believe that 15 months ago we packed the Resch Center to cheer our girls basketball team onto a state championship. It's hard to believe Pirate Nation took over UW-Madison on November 22nd when over 20 buses went to cheer our football team on. I'd actually do anything to get our student section back at a football game. It's hard to believe that earlier this year, choir traveled to New York City to perform at Carnegie Hall. And it's also hard to believe that on March 16th was the last time we were together in this building today. I think the key to a successful school district is to provide kids an opportunity to perform and compete at the highest level. And that is what this class has done. You've heard some outstanding presenters today in Amanda and in Anna and Mr. Apple and Mrs. Mraz and Mr. LaCroix. And you've heard about the accomplishments of this outstanding class, whether it's academically, arts, clubs, organizations, service to the community, and the 5 state championship banners that are in this gymnasium. As I stated in the message that I sent you on April 19th from my front porch, this is simply not fair. Circumstances took over some of the most important things in your life. However, what it can't take away from you are all the outstanding memories, all your accomplishments, and the strong relationships that you made with your peers, with your staff, and with this community. So today, I give you my final homework assignment. And I'll be checking back with you when we have a chance to get together and celebrate. You need to go out of your way to thank somebody. You've heard that from other people who spoke today. But genuinely, people who have influenced your life in a positive way. Take some time, reflect on that, and make sure to thank them for everything that you've accomplished. Because you don't do this alone. Together is better. Remember, once a pirate, always a pirate. Pirate pride. Board of Education, I present to you the class of 2020. They have met the graduation requirements of the state of Wisconsin and the Howard-Suamico School District and are ready to receive their diplomas.
Hello, everyone. My name is Teresa Ford, and I serve on your Board of Education. I'd like to take just a moment to share with you just how proud we are of all of you. You identified yourselves as a group that was born to make history. We've watched you grow and develop over your years in the Howard-Suamico School District, and you have demonstrated incredible strength of character in refusing to let these past several weeks stop you in your tracks. You certainly have made history, and we are excited to watch as you take what you have learned, follow your path, and continue to make history. On behalf of your Board of Education, congratulations and best wishes on your future. The world is waiting for you.
Elena Abel. Ayanna Aberly. Andrew Adderhold. Ahmed Ahmed. Michael Akins. Duncan Albanese. Alexandria Amble. Troy Amond. Bennett Anderson. Jack Anderson. Lewis Anderson. Morgan Andrews. Matthew Engel. Elizabeth Armstrong. Mia Arnold. Caitlin Avery. Lauren Babka. Tegan Baton. Trey Baton. Gabriella Bagneski. Austin Bailey. Ethan Balmer. Anastasia Barstow. Colton Bartles. Nevaeh Bay. Justin Beasley. Eliana Beatty. Ethan Bagadka. Bennett Baleen. Jesse Bellinger. Gracie Bellin. Tanner Belschner. Maximus Benedict. Jacob Berg. Zoe Bergman. Jade Bergner. Connor Bernard. Adam Burnclaw. Kaylee Bertrand. Nathan Bickart. Logan Bitters. Mackenzie Bjorkland. Keely Blazer. Benjamin Betcher. Hayden Betcher. John Boyven. Nolan Boswick. Molly Barassa. Sasha Boyer. Caden Braun. Sydney Breaker. Alex Brester. Ethan Berge. John Burgess. Caden Berling. Samantha Byrne. Jordan Burns. Addison Bird. Nathan Bird. Mercedes Callowards. Lauren Calloway. Ethan Campbell. David Carpio. Adrian Castro Robles. Mackenzie Kayo. David Sigelski. Preston Seedgren. Victor Chalifaux. Jack Chilson. Dane Christensen. Joshua Christensen. Brianna Sizik. Quinn Clausen. Brooke Clement. Emma Klusman. Corinne Cody. Parker Colonna. Braden Compton. Trevor Conaher. Kessler Cook. Nicholas Koopman. Jake Coppins, Madison Cork, Adriana Corona, Austin Corshane, Jasmine Crossan, Emma Cumbers, Drew Dolan, Chloe Delkey, Cole Delkey, Ava DeCaster, Bryce DeBush, Cameron DeBrew, Jeffrey Deere, Dylan DeGrief, Zachary DeGroot, Sarah Dano, Madeline DeJardin, Alex Delabrew, Marcus Delfosse, Zachary Delarenzi, Cole Dalvoy, Jocelyn DeMond, Jackson DeNammer, Keyshawn Darrett, William Destash, Bryce Destry, Connor DeWick, Haley Dickey, Jonah Dolger, Griffin Dombrowski, Braden Doyle, Kirsten Doyle, Madeline Drock, Tyson Drake, Kiana Dugan, Connor Dunning, Megan Dunstan,
Miranda Duval, Alexander Ebert, Christine Eckert, Madeline Elke, Charles Airfirth, Diana Ellis, Brooke Elston, Madeline Falkenberg, David Fedchuk, Bo Felmer, Ethan Fenlon, Katerina Furkovich, Tanisha Fernandez Tome, Allison Fisher, Jake Fisher, Mason Fleechek, Kira Flynn, Daniel Forstek, Caleb Frisch, Callie Frisch, Emma Fry, Natasha Fuller, Mateo Gaglio, Daniel Gajeski, Emily Gao, Carter Garland, Isaiah Gash, Michael Gay, Zachary Gagare, Logan Geisler, Riley Gellin, Jessica Georgia, Alexis Gearing, Tyler Gearing, Danya Garretts, Connor Gershmel, Garrett Gershmel, Mercy Jacoby, Annika Jingle, Madeline Gobat, Maya Gore, Contressa Gauze, Olivia Graythen, Peyton Greeley, Zoe Greenwell, Peyton Grisbowski, Zoe Gum, Shay Gustafson, Marissa Guyette, Ziana Habeck, Justin Halley, Connor Halverson, Keegan Hendricks, Jeremiah Hanna, Anna Hansen, Christopher Hansen Gregg, Griffin Hansen, Isabella Harris, Sarah Hart, Griffin Holly, Evie Heblin, Aaron Heidenreich, Austin Heim, Matthew Heim, Adam Hendricks, Maximus Henkel, Logan Heidepus, Earl Hilaski III, John Hinnendale, Mackenzie Hoffman, Luke Hohender, Braden Hoskin, Maxwell Hostetler, Jody Houts, Dominic Havadi, Justin Howe, Jacob Huben, Claudia Huchek, Colton Huff, Gracie Hurish, Bryson Hiska, Franklin Jack, James Jakes, Justin Jonke, Adam Hamir, Hunter Janiak, Brock Jeffers, Trevor Jenquin, Madeline Jepson, Haley Jepson, Amanda Jerry, Logan Jawakam, Levi Johnson, Lindsay Johnson, Mackenzie Johnson, Trevor Johnson, Mason Jolly, Nathan Jonnet, Madison Jorgensen, Madison Joslin, Caitlin Kane, Ashley Karras, Hope Carnes, Trinity Kelly, Anna Kendall, Jackson Kershane, Noah Key, Kate Kloster, Benjamin Komorowski, Elijah Komp, Kevin Connop, Stormy Kopp, Deja Cron, Caitlin Cron, Kasia Krajewski, Ava Crone, Hannah Krieger,
Dale Kuchta, Trinity Lacrosse, Nicole Labar, Gabrielle LeCount, Gavin Lade von Vanderen, Owen Laframboy, Chloe Lamb, Rebecca Lambert, Molly Lemieux, Zachary Lancel, Jacob Lane, Teresa Lappin, Jacob Larange, Noah Larscheid, Emma Lasecki, Zachary Lee, Emma Leclue, Caden Ladoc, Gabrielle Lee, Isabel Lee, Megan Lee, Megan LaFay, Raylan LaFay, Jackson Neist, Donovan Lemke Scott, Nathan Laterno, Seth Leibel, Jenna Locke, Derek Lonzo, Brian Lopez Navarte, Gerson Lopez Navarte, Leonel Lopez Lavarte, Sierra Lopnow, Logan Lorang, Kimberly Lotto, Julia Lynch, Benjamin Madden, Kathleen Maloney, Abdisa Mama, Clara Mansky, Haley Manson, Luke Manty, Joshua Marcotte, Sky Merrick, Morgan Marish, Grace Marcourt, Loic Martel, Samuel Martinez, Charles Maternuski, Jameson Matthews, Felicity Maxwell, Sarah McAllister, Austin McDonough, Declan McLaughlin, Mitchell McGrain, Reagan McIntyre, Trey McKeever, Max Mewson, Declan Melkor, Evan Menon, Sophia Mercier, Nicholas Messerschmidt, Carson Mevis, Ethan Meyer, Jaden Myers, Olivia Michaels, Devin Meir, Celeste Milhosky, Dana Miller, Asia Millsap, Carter Mishka, Anna Miteg, Alexis Melezova, Yahe Mohammed, Olivia Monty, Ethan Moore, Caleb Moore, Linnea Morris, Caitlin Mueller, Alexandria Mummy, Aaron Murphy, Emma Nagel, Melanie Nercier, Morgan Ness, Brock Noy, Kayla Noy, Mackenzie Knoll, Celeste North, Shannon Norton, Sierra Noskowiak, Patrick Nowakowski, Jacob Nugent, Megan Neisted, Jackson O'Connell, Alec Oberhofer, Jordan Olson, Lewis Olson, Carissa Oleski Lakowski, Noah Oppenir, Hallie Ortner, Joshua Olet, Zeke Owen, Nolan Pale, Abigail Pake, Mary Pasov, Hannah Pesh, Olivia Peggs, Madeline Peters, Dylan Ferris, Elizabeth Pelleggi, Sam Plum, Abigail Posowitz, Elizabeth Posowitz, Rebecca Posey, Hayden Paulus, Alessandra Quazzo, Lennon Rab, Maxwell Rosh, Ilaria Ragney, Nathan Raisbeck, Jose Luis Ramirez, Ashton Rivers, Anna Rust, Ava Roble, Tucker Rudolph, Jamil Sadi, Angelina Sanchez, Jackson Swatsky, Anna Shear,
Eleanor Sherwinski, Matthew Schultz, Cyril Schlieder, Maxwell Schmidt, Bryn Schoening, Michaela Schomer, Taylor School, Tyler Schrader, Kylie Schutte, Hayla Schold, Sophia Schultz, Christian Schutt, Greta Schwant, Hunter Semrau, Amber Shatlow, Anna Shahan, Kane Shepard, Anastasia Shashinka, Cassidy Simon, Amy Scar, Andrew Slosted, Aaliyah Smetana, Angelica Smith, Madeline Smith, Megan Smith, Zachary Smith, Brady Snyder, Emma Souls, Wyatt Sorensen, Keaton Spindler, Cora Spicala, Bo St. Aubin, Jaden St. John, Paige Stauber, Savannah Steckler, Samantha Steno, Caden Steffel, Brock Steffens, Shelby Stelzer, Marissa Stevenson, Andrew Stoberl, Gabriel Stone, Ben Storby, Chandler Storter, Max Strellau, Elena Strew, Raymond Strick, Cade Strom, Ava Stile, Christopher Swick, Jocelyn Tarango, Nicholas Tassone, Dana Taylor. Neng Tao. Ella Thiebert. Bryson Theobar. Ryan Teamy. Andrew Thomas. Jaden Thompson. Aaliyah Thor. Molly Thor. Micah Tice. Tanner Tilkins. Colin Tomaszewski. Isaac Tomaszewski. Zachary Tomzak. Ava Utke. Bryce Van Helmrich. Dane Van Vondren. Leah Vandenhoevel. Jackson Vandenelzen. Brianna Vanderleest. Nicole Vandervest. Samantha Van Cowenberg. Mia Van Lannen. Julie Vecchi. Julia Verbort. Tyler Verlonick. Nathan Vincent. Nathan Vincent. Jake Voigt. Christoph Voska. Cooper Warren. Elizabeth Warren. Tristan Warzinski. Cole Weber. Riley Widener. Travis White. Zachary Wiederholt. Zachary White. Anthony Williams. Eliana Williams. Sydney Williams. Elizabeth Wimmer. Madison Winter. Peyton Wolfer. Morgan Woslaw. Ranchita Yang. Alexandria Yedeka. Carter Zawlaki. Yaslin Zera. Abigail Zeidler. Emily Zellner. Kyle Zerbel. Dmitry Zelebkovich.
Dima Zelebakovich.
Maxwell Zieg.
Congratulations, Bayport Class of 2020. We can now turn our tassels from the right to the left side of our cap as we become alumni to the Howard-Suamico School District.
Good afternoon, class of 2020. I just got back from virtual graduation, and a little bit different with this graduation is we're not done yet. So typically you march out of Bayport and you might come back and visit, but in this case, I made you a promise on April 19th from this spot that we would get back together as a group when we could, and I'm gonna hold myself to that promise. So just like I talked about in my speech today of you taking advantage of the opportunities that the Howard-Suamico School District has given you, when I get the opportunity to bring everybody back together and celebrate, we are going to do that. So I'm really looking forward to that day. Obviously, this is not how we wanted this graduation to go, but we're not done yet. So have a great day, everybody. Pirate Pride.